Good morning, everyone. Apologies for the topic which was not available earlier. My name is Jawahar. I'm head of Release Engineering Group in Unity. This is fairly a new group which is responsible for all the releases that is coming out of Unity. So we are responsible for getting the product out to you. There are no fancy videos or no new insights about what is coming in. This is about the process. The idea is to introduce what is behind the scenes in Unity when we get the product out to you, and how much we care about the quality of the product and how we care about the users. So this is the topic. It's about Unity release process. I was going to include something about customer support as well. Unfortunately, the lead DRM, the developer relationship manager, is unwell. He can't be here. I can answer any questions as to how my team or any other team in Unity can provide personalized support to users. You can catch me after the talk. So I'll start with the mission for my team. We are focusing on shipping reliable, performant, and maintainable releases of Unity. Unity is the product we ship on time, because we understand your work relies on Unity product being released on time. So we care about shipping our releases on time. And how we are going to do it? This is by growing a culture of quality within Unity. Quality is going to be at the forefront of everything we do. The name Release Engineering Group is something new because it comprises of various teams. You may or may not know about or heard about some of these teams. I'll go through the composition of this group. It consists of release management. People who work in release in software development will understand what release management is. It's a traditional release management, but we have we have changed it slightly. I'll explain a bit later. Release QA. This QA team is responsible for ensuring the quality of our releases is as expected. We have two teams. One team is in Brighton, UK. The other team, some of them are here. They are part of Global Step in Pune. And sustain engineering, traditionally sustain engineering was responsible for maintaining all the Unity releases with weekly updates, patches, and fixing bugs. Also providing insight back to the development teams so that subsequent and future releases are of good quality. The sustain engineering had its own QA team, and another team which is called QA infrastructure. It's responsible for bug reporter, crash analyzer. For example, you report a bug that comes to us through through one of the tools they develop and maintain. Going into the release management team, I mentioned it's not a traditional release management. They are not gatekeepers. They work with development teams as to how a quality, how they can achieve a particular level of quality in whatever a team is developing, be it a feature or they are adding a new platform. And they are in various locations, various geographical locations, primarily because our development teams are distributed across the world. So wherever there are major development teams, there is a release manager sitting with the team, not coming at the end, but working with them continuously. This release management team is responsible for all the releases. We are going to release 2018.3.0 next week. And then the following year, we'll be releasing 2019.1.0.0. So anything that ends with .0.0 will be released by this team. So they work with the development teams, not as gatekeepers, but they are working as enablers of success for the development team. The release QA I touched upon briefly. They test all alpha, beta, release candidate, and final releases, along with the global step team. And they also act as the first set of users, not like, they not in a traditional sense of looking for bugs, but they are users. They behave like, some of you in sitting here. They also test across all the areas, unlike the individual dev teams that are testing the individual features. Sustain engineering is considered to be on the front line of R&D. They have a varied role. They work with customers like you. They work with internal developers. So we have divided the sustain engineering team into three teams. One is primarily responsible for bug fixing, all the bugs reported by the users. What we do is we look at each and every bug that comes to us. It's not that some of the bugs reported by you will not be looked at. We take every bug seriously. We look at every bug, and then if there is a duplicate which was already there, we mark it as duplicate. Um, if if uh, if a bug is, if it is a crash, we assign highest priority so your work is not blocked by that bug. So there are lots of processes involved. Sustain engineering primarily focuses on enterprise support customers or the COE partners in India as well. And they are responsible for maintaining all the released versions with weekly updates. And they also work on preventing bugs. It's not only fixing bugs, they come up with recommendations for development teams. The Unity developers are slightly different. Unity is made up of developers. They are the primary people, and then they are passionate about what they develop. And you tell Unity developer, oh, how about this one? He'll suddenly, he'll just pull his computer out and then start working on that one. And then the developer doesn't think beyond that one. Because they care about what they develop, they care about users. It's the job of sustain engineering to provide various tools so their development is of good quality. For example, we provide statistics on the code coverage. The developers write tests, and then we provide information about which part of the code is covered by tests. We also provide what you call static analysis. So even before the code gets merged, they get feedback on whatever they have developed. The primary objective is, improving the quality. The sustain engineering team has its own QA, it's embedded QA. They play a very, very crucial role in ensuring each of those patches, we call them updates now, are of good quality. Their role is important because up until a couple of years ago, a lot of users, primarily game developers, will be reluctant to use new releases. So over a period, we have improved the quality. That is through the work of sustain engineering and sustain engineering QA. They do various things. They check, they organize every verification of every bugs that are fixed. Now, I do not know how different companies work, but we verify each and every bug that is fixed, and we not only do that one, we have extended coverage of testing across various areas based on the fixes that are going out in a particular release. To give an example, we introduced LTS release cycle last April. initially the releases had regressions. For example, you fix a bug or you fix 10 bugs, you introduce another bug, so which is not acceptable. Through their feedback and then through various activities, we managed to eliminate the regressions introduced in in every release. Um, there are two other teams that are in India. They are working with us. They are based in Hyderabad. There is a company called Rhythmus. They provide developer services to us. Some of the developers are among the audience. They do a good job of not only backporting those bugs, they capture problems introduced by Unity developers. Ultimately, the effect of all these things is the quality of the product you get is good. So coming to the releases, I don't know how many of you are familiar. We have two release streams. One is called a tech release, which is supported for one whole year. Another one is called a long-term support release. In short, it's LTS. It's supported for 2 years. There is a blog post I wrote in April this year. If you go to Unity Blocks page, you don't have to remember this link, but if you go to Unity Blocks page, if you type LTS in the search box, you'll get this blog post. It gives you all the information you need to know about these releases, but I'll briefly touch upon what each one means. We ship 3 releases a year, which we call a tech stream. The reason we call tech stream is each of these releases contain new features, new platforms, or anything, support for new SDK or anything that is required. And typically, the first release of the year goes out sometime in spring. The next one is summer. The other one is in autumn or fall, as they call it in the US. So I haven't given specific dates because the actual dates will vary depending upon the the content of each of those releases. But approximately, these are the 3 periods during which we ship new features. You can look out for new Unity releases during these times. Now, this is an important one. A lot of people had difficulty in understanding our releases, so I'll briefly explain. This is a pictorial representation of how we do our releases. The blue boxes represent tech releases. The green boxes represent the LTS releases. As you can see, for 2018, you have 2018.1. I have omitted .0 at the end. It's 2018.1.0, 2018.2.0, and 2018.3.0. Each of those releases, so .1 will go during spring, .2 is a summer release, .3 is autumn release. Now, as you can see, there are 3 blue boxes followed by 1 green box, and then it continues. The idea behind this approach is you create one thread or one big stream where you ship new technology 3 times a year, and then you maintain that for a 2-year period. Now, when we enter into LTS cycle, we will not add any new features. We will not add any new platforms. There are certain exceptions we make. For example, Google came up with a requirement that is from June or April. I'm not entirely sure, but from early 2019, anyone shipping any content on the Android store, Play Store, needs to support the 64-bit. It should have 64-bit support. Now, the 2017 LTS, 2017.4, didn't have the ARM64 support. So we introduced it much later, but because we promised the users that 2017.4 will be supported for 2 years. Now a lot of developers started creating content on that one. So we are backporting support for Android 64-bit to LTS. This is an exception. Uh, this is uh, this is going to break a lot of things, assuming that if you are not careful. But we have been working for the past 4 months, making sure that it is of good quality. But this is what Unity does for the users. We go, out of the way to backport a big feature or a platform support if it is required for the users. You do not have to worry about, what if somebody, either Apple or Google change their policies. We will take care of that one. So the current LTS, that is 2017.4, it will be supported till 2020 spring. So anyone who is using 2017.4 can use it for another year and a half. One doesn't have to upgrade if you do not need new feature. A lot of customers we have spoken with, they use slightly different approach. They want a stable platform to go into production. They also want to use a new technology. Let's say you want to use HDRP or any of the new features, ECS. Or if you want to use those things, you have to go on to a tech release. Now, the recommendation we made to some of the users was to have two different versions. So their production version will be on an LTS, and then they have another version on another branch. They would be using it on the tech cycle. So if you follow for 2019, the picture will show you, at any given time, which are the releases that are supported. You can see after 2019 spring, we'll be supporting 2 LTS versions. Now, there is a little bit more to this one. For the tech release, we fix bugs and we release an update every week. So you can expect a weekly update. So if you encounter any problem, that will be fixed quickly. Whereas if you are on an LTS, you don't want many updates to come to you unless you have a bug you really care about. So the frequency of LTS releases will be smaller than that of the tech releases. And then the other one, the other LTS, I call it as legacy LTS. That will have much less updates. So you don't have to keep on upgrading to Unity if you are on an older version. But the recommendation is, if you have any production code, then you base it on LTS. If you want to explore or if you want to be on the forefront of technology, you should use the tech release. So this is just a recap. TechStream will have new features and platforms. So it's just one thread with the 3 releases. It's for those who are on the forefront of new technology, and then it gets weekly patches. So LTS is the opposite of that one. It'll be supported for 2 whole years, and it won't affect your work because of changes to any third-party changes. So for LTS, the long-term support releases, quality and stability are of primary importance. So I would like to touch upon the supporting enterprise customers. We have different models of support. We have tier 1 support, which is free. We provide free support to all the Unity users. And then we have premium support, that's tier 2 support. Every pro customer receives support from the tier 2 team. And then we also have the enterprise support. The equivalent of enterprise support is the COE model in India. We have a lot of partners here. You will be hearing them talking about their association with Unity. The Sustain Engineering team, which is part of the Release Engineering group, is primarily responsible for supporting the enterprise customers by prioritizing their bugs. We also were providing upgrade services. What I mean by upgrade services is you are creating a content, either a game or you're working on a simulation, and you want to upgrade to the new version. You're stuck, and then we will provide support. We help you with manpower. Uh, uh, if you can share your project, we'll try to upgrade on site. All the teams in my group, they are in the UK. Majority of them are in Brighton office. We have secure facilities, and we care about users' project very much. So your project will be safe with us. One of the other things we do is upgrade testing. You don't Through upgrade testing, we don't do an upgrade service for you, but when you share your project, we we test for every release. So we identify your problems much early, and then we fix. The advantage for you is when you upgrade the next version, you won't encounter any problems. So there are more we do through enterprise support and professional services. Unfortunately, the people, they are here in Hyderabad. You can find them. I don't know where they are, but you can talk to any of the Unity people. So they'll put them in touch with you. But if you have any questions after this talk, I'm more than happy to answer. That's it. Thank you.